Red Arrow's role to showcase the excellence of our service. Our other roles include defence diplomacy worldwide, assisting in recruiting for the British military and supporting British industry. We are very proud and honoured to represent the very best of British, both at home and overseas. Well, for those of you who saw the Red Arrows display yesterday, you may have seen that Red 1's jet was a non-smoking aircraft. It didn't have a smoke-producing capability. We've actually managed to get hold of another aircraft for this weekend's displays. And we now have 9 smokers, so with the cameras ready, we will be able to get all of the photographs with all 9 smokers. I've just checked in with the boss. He's going to be about 10 seconds early, he tells me, so by my watch that gives me 30 seconds to go. So everyone on the beach, if you get your arms waving, the pilots will be able to see you, and I'll tell you when they'll be able to see you, and then they'll be able to appreciate how much you're enjoying the display this afternoon. They'll be arriving in 9 arrow formation. We may be getting a full display, but Red 1 will decide on the run-in. So ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause, as here they are, the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team for 2013. It's the Red Arrows.
Coming left, now. Holding the bank, now tightening. Short diamond, good, 8, 9.
Red 1 started with a flat display, ladies and gentlemen, given this low cloud out to the front right 45, but he may be able to change it during the display. At 400 miles an hour, he changes them from 9 arrow to short diamond. You see Reds 8 and 9 have now formed the famous Red Arrow's Diamond 9 shape.
Okay. Let it get out a little.
Red 1 is squadron leader Jim Turner. It's his 2nd year leading the team, but he was a Red Arrows wingman from 2005 to 2007, and he led the synchro pair. Now listen in as Reds 4 and 5 perform their rollbacks.
4 and 5, roll, go.
They've just rolled back into Apollo formation. We'll see a little bit more of that shortly.
Coming left, now. Folding the bank, now tightening. Eagle, go. Hey.
The smoke comes on as Reds 2 and 3 acknowledge the move to Eagle. You'll see the 3 aircraft on each wing now drop back to show us the planned form of the American fighter jet, the F-15 Eagle. We've introduced this to the display this year to pass thanks to the Americans and the support they showed us during the Second World War on the Eagle squadrons.
Out, rolling, out. Coming right, now. Holding the bank, now.
This is Eagle. As I say, Red 1 has started with a flat display. For our rolling display, we need a minimum cloud base of 2,500 feet, and obviously Red 1 has assessed that the cloud in the area is lower than that, so he wouldn't be able to perform the barrel rolls. As part of our flat display, this is the only time you'll see this shape. You see the smoke on as Reds 4 and 5 move forward for a shape that only occurs in the first half of the flat display. This is Vulcan.
Smoke on, go. Tightening. Out, rolling, out.
Now we fly the majority of our formations with the odd-numbered pilots on the left-hand side, and the even-numbered pilots fly on the right-hand side. Red 6 and 7, the synchro pair, tend to fly directly behind the leader in line astern. On the very bottom of the formation now is Red 4. He's Flight Lieutenant Martin Pert. He's in his 2nd year with the team. He's a former Hawk flying instructor and solo Hawk display pilot. And operationally, he flew the Harrier GR9. With the smoke on now, the team are forming another shape. This time, it's of the iconic supersonic airliner. And they're about to come left with some red, white and blue, and hopefully a huge round of applause as they show you the very best of British in Concorde.
Out. Coming left, now. Holding the bank, Now, tight. Big.
Well, this year is the 70th anniversary of Operation Chastise, which was the famous Dam Busters raid carried out by 617 Squadron on the night of the 16th of May 1943. Those brave airmen flew their 19 Lancaster bombers deep into enemy territory to drop their bouncing bombs and complete their mission. With the smoke on now, you can see the jets have formed the shape of a Lancaster bomber, and in from your left-hand side, celebrating 70 years since the Dam Busters, this is Lancaster.
Smoke on. Go. Roll it. Out. Smoke off. Go.
One of our pilots has completed a tour with the famous Dam Busters Squadron. Red 3 is Flight Lieutenant Mark Lawson. He's on the leader's left wing now. He's in his first year with the Red Arrows. He completed his first tour in the Royal Air Force, flying with 617 Squadron, where he flew his Tornado GR4 over Iraq and Afghanistan, before transferring to 9 Squadron, again flying over Afghanistan and also over Libya in support of Operation Elemi in 2011. The smoke's back on now for another shape. This is our tightest shape. The jets in this formation are around 5 to 6 feet apart as they present Apollo.
Letting it out. Rolling. Out. Coming. Right. Now. Holding the bank. Now. Tight. Big.
On the leader's right wing now is another of our first year pilots. That is Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Ollie Parr. Ollie's another former Tornado GR4 pilot, and he has completed a tour as a Hawk flying instructor at Royal Air Force Valley on Anglesey in North Wales, where we train our advanced flying students.
Typhoon. Go. Hurry. Hurry.
The smoke's back on as the team formed Typhoon, which is aimed to depict the delta wing planform of the Royal Air Force's new multi-role combat aircraft, which you saw display here at Bournemouth earlier, the Eurofighter Typhoon. We've now got 4 frontline squadrons of Typhoons, whose primary duty it is to protect the airspace of the UK and the Falkland Islands. So now in from the left-hand side at 400 miles an hour, this is Typhoon.
Smoke on. Go. Coming. Left. Now. Holding the bank. Now. Tight. Big.
One of our pilots is a former Typhoon pilot. He's Red 9, Flight Lieutenant Mike Child. He's in his second year with the team. He's about to move to the very bottom of the formation as we view it now. He's another former Hawk flying instructor and solo Hawk display pilot before he transferred to the Typhoon, where he flew on quick reaction alert duties, protecting our airspace. Continuing this left-hand turn now, this shape is called Signet.
Letting it out. Rolling. Out. Smoke off. Go.
In the middle of the left-hand wing, as we look to on, is the last of our first-year pilots. That's Red 5, Flight Lieutenant Steve Morris. Steve's another former Hawk flying instructor, and he was then posted to the Harrier GR9. Unfortunately, only spent a short time flying the aircraft before it was taken out of service, and he transferred to the Tornado GR4, which he flew over Libya in support of Operation Elemi in 2011. To our right 45, the smoke's on for another shape. This time, Red 6 and 7 will move to their respective sides to form Big Vixen, named after the 1960s naval fighter, the Sea Vixen.
Letting it out. Rolling. Out. Coming. Right. Now. Holding the bank. Now tight. Big.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the first half of the Red Arrows display, where you've seen close formation flown in a rather dynamic fashion with the 9 aircraft. We're about to change the tempo as we show you how this Hawk aircraft can perform. We fly the BAE Systems Hawk T1, which was designed as an advanced jet and weapons trainer, and it's been in service with the Royal Air Force since 1976. It's very agile and precise, and we're about to show you why all of us pilots love to fly it. Out to the front, we're going to be splitting into 2 sections. Reds 1 to 5 we call Enid, after Enid Blyton's famous 5. Reds 6 to 9 we call Jippo, which was the nickname of the first gentleman to lead the 4-ship when the Red Arrows started flying 9-ship displays in 1968. Out to the front, get your cameras ready now for an explosive manoeuvre to start the second half of the display. This is the detonator.
Set on, go. Low recovery, go. In it. Break, break, go.
With his smoke on to the right-hand side is Red 6 and leader of the synchro pair, Flight Lieutenant Chris Lindensmith. It's Smythe's 3rd and final year with the team. He's another former Tornado GR4 pilot and Hawk flying instructor. On the right there, he's chased down by Red 9. If you look left, with the smoke on is Red 7, chased down by Red 8. These 4 jets now descend to just 100 feet, and they're closing at 850 miles an hour. Get your cameras ready for the amazing Jippo pass. The synchro pair leave their smoke on now and turn away from us at 6G, or 6 times the force of gravity, where everything in their bodies is weighing 6 times more than normal. So the pilots work hard to counter the G-forces as they fly the Cyclone. A Red 6 has asked me to say hello to his friends Cindy and Adrian and Sarah Phillips. So a big hello to you from Red 6, who's now slingshotting out to the front. Look to your left for Enid.
Down.
The wings of Enid drop down to form an inverted V-shape. And if you look to your right, you'll see a lone jet. That is Red 9, who's now going to fly in between Enid's V in the Goose. You see Red 9 flying through the Goose, steeply climbing to our left with some red, white and blue. Now look directly to your front for Red 6, 7 and 8.
Enid, flick off, catch. Flick off, catch.
Red 7 and 8 roll around Red 6, who then splits in the vortex. Up through the middle of the vortex is Red 8 Flight Lieutenant Ben Plank. Plank is actually in his 4th year with the team. He's another former Hawk flying instructor and Harrier GR9 pilot, and last year he was the leader of the synchro pair. Watching now left and right, the synchro pair descend back down to 100 feet to perform the double rolls. Come on, boys and girls, give them a big wave as they're flying past. Now look to your right, where you'll see Enid are being joined by Reds 8 and 9. Reds 1, 4 and 5 will ease up to widen the formation slightly, and as the colour comes on, they fly the Revolution.
On go. Switch, solid, now.
Each of the 7 pilots there in the Revolution flying an aileron roll manoeuvre, essentially a full left control column input to roll the aircraft around its longitudinal axis. Left and right again now for the synchro pair, this time red 6 on our left and red 7 on our right. Closing at 800 miles an hour, they're going to cross 3 times in opposing 360-degree 6G turns. Get ready now for the carousel. Watch at this back cross how each of the pilots switches its smoke colour using the individual smoke control colour buttons on the aircraft's control column. Now look to your right, 45 degrees, get your cameras ready for a new manoeuvre for 2013. Reds 1, 2, 3 and 5 have formed box with the red smoke now rolling around Enid 8 times is red 4. Red 1's now making it harder for red 4 by entering a 3G right hand turn in the twister. Red 4 working very hard to maintain those tight rolls around Enid as they roll out from that 3G turn. That's the twister, ladies and gentlemen. Now keep looking to your left for Jippo and one of my favourite manoeuvres. Here we'll see Reds 6 and 7 fly upside down in close formation. Reds 8 and 9 roll around them in the corkscrew. Give the synchro pair a wave as they fly past upside down, boys and girls. Red 7 there working very hard, flying only 8 feet away from Red 6's jet, but doing it while he's upside down. Now look out to your left and find the 5 headlights of Enid.
Go. Enid, smoke on, go. 5 legs. 2 and 3. Wow, stop.
The inside pilots perform tight matched rolls to the outside in the rollbacks.
Go.
Enid finished their very dynamic rollbacks. Look to the front to get your cameras ready for the return of a crowd favourite manoeuvre.
Enid, smoke off. Go, Chipper, smoke on. Go. That's good, Tommy boss. 8 and 9. Flag up.
Reds 8 and 9 roll around 6 and 7, who perform their own rolls and split in the Jippo break. With his smoke on to the left-hand side is Red 7 and Synchro number 2, Flight Lieutenant James McMillan. It's McZee's second year with the team. He was actually brought up in New Zealand and he joined the Royal New Zealand Air Force. where they disbanded their fast jet squadrons. He transferred to the Royal Air Force and became a Hawk flying instructor and Harrier GR9 pilot. This is the synchro pair's final manoeuvre of the display now, ladies and gentlemen, in the opposition barrel roll. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a big round of applause for the fabulous synchro pair. And now look directly to the front for Enid 8 and 9 and the display's finale.
340.
Back in 7-ship Vixen formation, this is the Vixen break.
Break, go.
We are the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. Red 1 puts his smoke on as he's now going to rejoin all 9 of the jets and recover to Bournemouth Airport, where our team of blues up at the airport are going to service the aircraft. They're going to put some more fuel and some more diesel in for our smoke system, and then the pilots have a display at the Dartmouth Royal Regatta this evening at 6:30. The Red Arrows are a major link between the British public and the Royal Air Force, in fact the wider British military, and the comments we receive on our team Facebook and Twitter pages truly reflect how fond much of Britain's population is for the team. We're truly grateful. Well, Red 1's just told me that to recover back to the airport, they're going to come and give us one last fly pass. So out to the front, you see them rejoining, and they're going to be joining up into big battle formation. This is a big V shape, where the jets will be around 20 feet apart, flying at 350 miles an hour or so, to give you a nice photo opportunity before they go back to land at Bournemouth Airport. Talking about Facebook and Twitter, if you'd like to follow us on Facebook, we're RAF Red Arrows, and on Twitter, we're at RAF Red Arrows. 3 of us pilots actually tweet ourselves. I'm at RAF Red 10. Red 4, Martin Pert, is at RAF Red 4. And Ben Plank, who is Red 8, is at Ben Plank. We tweet up-to-date information about the team and the Royal Air Force, and if you'd like to follow us, you're more than welcome. And we have been doing a question and answer session, which we'll try and make a more regular feature. You can see them joining that big battle formation now. What they're going to have here in this fly past is they'll have their air brakes extended. It's a big panel that hangs down at the back of the aircraft, and we use that to create drag to slow the jet down. A secondary effect of that is the need to have a higher power setting to maintain speed, and in turn that gives us a very deep red and blue smoke colour with that higher power setting. So in from the right hand side very shortly, you'll see the team in big battle, and they will have their air brakes out to give us that very deep red and blue colour. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what you've seen is a demonstration of speed, agility and precision. We've shown you how effective teamwork can be throughout the British military. We've done this to pay homage to our forebears and to represent all members of the British military who are on duty both at home and overseas. If I could have, when the coloured smoke comes on, everyone on the beach and on the cliffs here at Bournemouth giving us the largest clap and cheer they can, then I'll transmit that to the pilots using my radio so that hopefully they can appreciate how much you've enjoyed the display this afternoon. So you'll see the coloured smoke comes on, and then I want the biggest round of applause and the clap and cheer, please. So in from the right hand side now, here they are for the last time at Bournemouth here today. This is the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows.
Right on, go. Thanks very much, Bournemouth. See you again tomorrow. Sorry about the cloud.
That was Red 1 talking to everyone here on the beach, saying sorry about the cloud. We had to see a flat display. We're on the same. We're looking forward to a display here at midday tomorrow, so I hope you get to see another one. I'm about to jump in a helicopter that belongs to the Central Flying School that's going to fly me down to Dartmouth for our display down there. So for all those people on the beach, give me a wave as I jump into the helicopter. I hope you don't get blasted with sand. But for now, I hope you enjoy your afternoon. I hope the cloud does clear and you get some great displays. Thanks for having me, thanks for watching and for listening, and for now I wish you all the very best from everybody at the Red Arrows. Enjoy!
Yeah, well, thank you very much indeed, Squadron Leader Michaeling. Absolutely outstanding. Top stuff, and yeah, keep up the Twitter-thon. I think fantastic idea.
Thanks, George.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. And I think we can add the word style to precision and agility and speed and everything else. I think a great deal of style back into that 9-ship display.
Well, I think it's said all by the Red Arrows motto on the Squadron Crest: Eclat, excellence. And it's great to see them, the 9-ship there. Again, we didn't get to see the full majesty, the full grace of the 9-ship display there, but do not fear. Come back tomorrow and the day after. As the Red Arrows will be displaying again. Times on the programmes, get your brochures, which will have a paper additional insert, which have the latest flying programme amendments and updates. That will give you the very latest information. That brochure, only £6 from the vendors. The top of the zigzags, bottom of the zigzags, main entrances to east and west, and your chance to donate to Forces charities.
Not at all partisan there then, Andy. I'm sure. Do you miss it?
Well, I've been very fortunate in my Royal Air Force career. I've flown the Tornado GR4 for 7 years.